Cheeks get found out. Do not cut corners. And make sure you put in the work. Beak, wasn't it, really?
Yeah,
not a nose, really.
Not the Hollywood nose.
Yeah, it's more of a beak, though,
Alright,
wasn't it?
leave a beak there. No, seriously, you're going to hurt my feelings.
Naseem Hamed.
Yeah, you'd have got hammered.
He
You'd got
was
absolutely battered, wouldn't you?
Now, I used to batter him in sparring. You got to ask him, mate.
Are you being serious? Hello and welcome to Talk Boxing, the Q&A with me, Carl the Cobra Froch, and my wingman, Spencer Oliver. We're going to go through a few more. You all right, mate?
Let's do it, Cole. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Straight in.
Do you know what? I love these shows. I love the questions. And more importantly, I love the names. You remember last week, the old Shalom?
Shalom, yeah. You've been set up there, haven't you? That was funny, though, to be fair.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so, frankincense. I'll keep... Someone's on the wind up with these, aren't they? Right, frankincense first up. If you could give one piece of advice to any current boxer, what would it be?
The bit of advice that I would give to any current boxer is cheeks get found out. Do not cut corners. Yeah. Make sure you put in the work.
Fitness.
Hard work, yeah. Your hard work will take you to where you need to. It's not always the most gifted fighter that goes to the top. It's the guy that works the hardest, especially in the pro game. And yeah, that's the advice.
Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard.
There you go.
That's the famous saying, isn't it?
What about yourself?
Well, I always say, when people say, oh, give us a bit of advice as a young amateur, what would you say to him? What's the most thing? And when you run out of steam and when you're not fit, it doesn't matter how good you are. No. So that's probably the single most important thing in boxing.
Hard work. It comes back to hard work, doesn't it? But
because for me that's expected, you've got to be fit. Why are you a professional fighter if you're not going to take it serious? You've got to train hard. You've got to get your heart rate down. You've got to get your muscles conditioned. The next piece for me of advice would be to not miss sparring. So I think sparring is so important. And some fighters don't spar, they try and technical spar, they try and...
You brought up a good question there, Cole, because when you say sparring, you know, like, sort of like define that a little bit more, as in, are you talking about heavy sparring, you know, more rounds of sparring or technical sparring?
I used to do 130 rounds of sparring for every 12-round fight I did.
Right.
About 130 rounds, between 120 and 130 depending. And I think, and that's a lot of rounds of sparring. That's over a probably 6 or 7 week period. So I don't start sparring until I'm fit. Like after about 4 or 5 weeks into the camp, a 12-week camp, I then start my sparring, and then I'll get about 120 rounds in.
Nice.
And I know if I've only done 80 rounds, if I've been injured, I'm not quite. Your timing, your distance, and just the letting your shots go subconsciously, letting shots go in range where it's happening automatically. When you're a natural fighter and you fought from when you're a kid, then things happen automatically without thinking about it. You're not thinking, I'm going to throw a double jab right hand here and I'm going to put a body shot.
But I think if you're advising someone and you say, listen, if you train and you leave no stone unturned, when it gets to that stage of the fight where it becomes a psychological battle, then you're mentally there, because otherwise you start questioning and doubting yourself. And I think that is a big thing. That's why, you know, hard work wins.
You've got to be fit and you've got to do the sparring. And we'll talk. Well, I'll mention Anthony Joshua again just because it's such a big talking point. He's fighting Dillian Whyte soon, but he didn't get enough sparring in. I think he had a dodgy elbow. His elbow was sore. I think Dillian Whyte struggles as well, but a lot of boxers do struggle with the elbow. And when you can't get that sparring in, you're going to make the fight so much harder. You know what I mean? You've got to get that hard work in. Right. We've done the frankincense. Let's do the big D.
Big D.
The most effective punch in boxing is the jab.
The names are winding us up, mate.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Which fighter had the best jab you had ever seen?
The best jab I'd ever seen was probably when I was growing up watching Larry Holmes. Was one of the best jabs I'd ever seen. That was an unbelievable, a young Larry Holmes. The guy was like a piston, boom, like, you know what I mean, so precise. You know, the accuracy was unbelievable.
You know, most top fighters,
they've
got really good basic jab, haven't they?
Yeah,
a solid jab.
Yeah,
like you'd say.
I'm going to give you one.
Roy Jones Jr.'s jab.
Yeah, but I'm going to give you another one, and one that you've probably forgotten about. Actually, I think he was maybe a little bit lighter than you, but box people that you did. Ronald Winky Wright. Great jab, southpaw jab. Yeah. You saw him like Adrian Dodson. Who was it? Steve Foster. We saw him come over here a couple of times, box there, and he just broke him down with a jab, man. Peekaboo style, ping.
Ronald Winky Wright. I'm not dropping names here, but you know I'm a Hall of Famer. Yeah. I was with him a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And he just mentioned Steve Foster.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me about that fight.
No way.
He was talking to me about Steve Foster.
There you go.
Fight.
Come on, give me the story.
No, he was just saying about how he was tough and the crowd was against him, and he come over to England, and because no one would give him his shot in America. He really fought have a look at his career and have a look at his record.
Incredible.
How many fights did he have? He had over 50 fights.
Yeah, he had 60-odd fights. He had 60-odd fights, won about 52.
Fought everybody.
53, yeah.
Fought everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Oh, everybody. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He was such a good fighter. Like, boxed out that peekaboo style, didn't he? He was like very clever. Like, picked the shot, southpaw style. But the jab was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The jab was like a cross, and he just broke people down. So I think them two, Larry Holmes of old, look at that. Anyone that was...
Winky Wright. I could have picked Winky Wright, but I didn't pick him.
Who have you got?
I picked a guy called George Groves.
What, for jab?
Yeah, for jab, because
you ate a load of them.
Because I ate loads of them. I just munched on them jabs. Kept walking through. On the old
still wake up thinking about Groves' jabs.
He imprinted the image of his glove on the end of my schnozzy bugle. You know the old nose that AJ gave a bit of stick.
The old,
not the new nose.
No, the old nose it was like a beak, wasn't it? Really, not a nose. Really.
Not the Hollywood nose.
Yeah, it's more of a beak though.
All right, leave a beak there. No, seriously, you're going to hurt my feelings. If you can't.
Let's move on. Before you get upset.
It's going to get messy in here very quickly.
So I got Pat and Romario behind me.
Romario, he don't look like he wants any of the Cobra. The next one from Tom Watson. Which boxer would you love to have fought in your careers, past or present? Mine is the late, marvellous Marvin Hagler.
Oh, wow.
Because
my favourite fighter, by the way.
Because he'd probably done me as well. Maybe not. He's a middleweight when he come up.
Yeah, middleweight, yeah.
I think he was a bit smaller than me, height-wise.
5'8".
I've met him
5'8".
But he just, is that all he was? 5'8"?
Yeah, 5'8".
No, to beat him. But no, on a serious note, because he didn't take a step backwards, and because he doesn't hold and doesn't try to get messy, he just wants to fight, doesn't he? He rolls in with that bold Swede of his and gets it in front of your face and pushes you back a bit. But he'll stand and have a fight.
Yeah.
And he's a proper, fair, honest man. I spoke to him about Sugar Ray Leonard. Well, I didn't actually. I tried to talk to him about Sugar Ray Leonard. He wouldn't have none of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mentioned the Ray Leonard fight, and he was like, who? Because I says, oh, Leonard. And I went, Ray Leonard. He went, who? I don't know who you mean. I went, Sugar Ray Leonard. I was like thinking, what's going on? He goes, don't know who you mean. He refused to engage in a conversation. He was at the airport on the way out somewhere, and he got the WBC sort of wrist thing on. So, I mean, I'm not giving him stick. You wouldn't really wear that. You just put it up, or you give it. But he had it on. But that shows, though, what a proud man he was.
Oh, he
got the WBC leather strap on his wrist.
Yeah.
On his other hand to his right, and I just thought, you know what? He's such a proud man. He's got WBC tag on, walking around. He knew who I was at there because I saw him and thought, am I going to look like a fanboy now? And I went up and he went, how you doing? He put his hand out and I thought, this is great. I had a real good chat with him.
Oh, wicked. Do you know what? I thought he was going to say Calzaghe, because that's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was going to say Calzaghe because it was at that stage where it was that crossover period, wasn't it? And I think that there was a rivalry there. And Calzaghe never seemed to want to entertain you, did he?
And that's a fight that I would have loved to have had because I was mandatory for the WBC and he vacated and went on to fight Roy Jones and Hopkins. But I don't really... I think it would have been a tough fight and a great fight. But because I went and fought Pascal, the next in line, who was unbeaten and hungry, and he went on to become a light heavyweight champion straight after I beat him. That kind of... That did wonders for my career and my legacy. And I went on and had a fantastic career. So if I'd have never boxed anybody and never made any money out of the game, I'd have looked back on that Calzaghe fight as a bitter man.
Yeah, of course.
Never happened. But I had such
you carved your own legacy.
I had such a great career. And I'm not blowing smoke up my arse again. I had such a great career and fought everybody. It doesn't really matter that I didn't fight Calzaghe. I think. Anyway, if I say anything else about Calzaghe, it's going to look like I'm giving him stick. And I've already said
Let's move on.
I've got respect. I've got a lot of respect for him.
Mine was a fantasy fight that I always wanted, that I was always chasing. Really would have been Naseem Hamed.
Yeah, you'd have got hammered.
He got absolutely battered, wouldn't you? No, I used to batter him in sparring. You got to ask him, mate. You got to ask him.
You against Hamed, honestly, you was good. Your work rate.
Yeah.
You was a trier, weren't you?
Yeah.
But honestly, that uppercut. On the chin.
Yeah.
The omen out cold.
I think I would have had him, mate.
Spread eagle.
I think I would have had him.
Spread eagle, like.
Stylistically.
Nah.
Would have been a tough fight, wouldn't it?
Are you being serious?
It would have been a tough fight, wouldn't it? Yeah, no, that was the fight that was always. That was the money fight. That was the fight that everyone wanted.
If he didn't knock you out, you'd have outworked him.
Outgrafted him.
Because you was a grafter, weren't you?
You was,
weren't you?
Yeah.
You was.
Yeah. That was the fight.
You'd have beaten Mumpoint.
That was the fight.
If he didn't knock you out. But no, that would be a good one.
Great fight.
Featherweight, dust up.
Do you know what? That's the weight I needed to box at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
Your career was cut short too early, wasn't it? What was you, 20?
23. Just turned 23.
I didn't turn pro till I was 25 and your career ended at 23.
Just turned 23. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Spencer Oliver had an horrific brain bleed, which he actually... So they put you into a coma in the ring.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Don't do that anymore. It saved his life.
That was
And that's the dark side of boxing, but he got out the other end, and fair play to you. And you told me that when you'd been in, how long was you in a coma for?
2 weeks.
And they didn't know if he was going to wake up and where he was going to be, if he was going to remember anything, if he was going to be any kind of physically disabled at all. And
you told me that when you
told me that when you woke up, you thought you were still in the Albert Hall, and you've never felt so sharp.
I know.
And switched
It's
on.
mad, isn't it?
And look at what he's doing now.
No.
I mean,
There we go.
switched on, sharp as a sharp.
Doing shows with a Cobra.
Doing shows with the Cobra, the Hall of Famer, the legend. Well, you can't believe you look, can you? You're sitting next to him. But no, Spencer, fair play to you, mate. The career was ended far too early, and you was a top fighter. And joking aside, you'd give Nassim Ahmed a right good dust up. I know you would have done.
Top man.
So our next question is from Cristiano.
Cristiano.
Yeah, don't focus on the name. Fantasy boxing dinner guests. Which 3 would you invite? I think this could be past, present, dead, alive.
Yeah, of course. Muhammad Ali goes in straight at number 1. Everyone wants to be there. I'd just love to have sat down and had dinner with him. Fascinating guy, and the greatest. So you got to put Muhammad Ali in there.
It'd be great to, I know what you're saying. For me, he's not in my 3. But
is he not?
Just because you see that much of him and hear that much of him, and he was that much of a big star. I feel
but no, but what I'm saying,
I know everything I need to know about him.
You only saw him on camera. Like, I want to know the real Muhammad Ali. What would that person been like? Like Nassim Hamid on cameras, the different guys are off camera.
Actually,
before you Cobra is as well.
Before you give your next 2,
let me you give me your one. We'll go 1-1-1-1.
No, what I'm going to do is, because this is fantasy boxing dinner guests, I'm going to give you my reality boxing dinner guests.
A reality?
A couple of weeks ago, when I was dining at the top table at the Hall of Fame. I'm sitting down on the top table.
Go on.
So we'll see if your fancy one can match up to my reality.
Go on.
I'm sitting there with, we mentioned him earlier, Ronald Winky Wright.
Yeah.
I've always been a massive fan.
Okay. Is he one of the guests?
He was one of the guys I was sitting with.
Yeah.
I was sitting with Roberto Duran.
Nice.
He was sitting there.
Yeah.
And I was also dining at the top table with my peers.
Yeah,
Don't forget, these are my peers.
Go on.
Mickey Ward.
Nice. I like that.
And just to chuck another name in there, he's not in my 3, but he probably should be. Riddick Bowe. Just happened to be sat there.
Nice.
So we're sitting there, we're
chatting away. Do you know
Riddick
Bowe comes to my dad's funeral? Do you know that?
You're not going to take the shine off my dining.
No, I've done it. I'm just saying, I've got a connection with Riddick as well, you know?
So that's my reality dinner table.
Yeah.
What's your fantasy one?
Tell me, what happened on this table? Why are they your 3? I mean, give us a little insight into. You can't just pick them, like because you had dinner with them already. That's great, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I just
for what reason did you pick the 3?
I thought it would be great to give you my reality one, just to let you know what you do.
Yeah, but I mean, but in reality, were they good or were they quite boring? I mean,
there was a bit of a language barrier with Duran. He don't speak a word of English, but his daughter does.
Yeah, so it sounds like you were having a boring dinner party right now.
No. Me and Winky Wright, we had this what was it, a tomahawk steak each.
You're right.
Duran, unfortunately, is just Hispanic Mexican, so he didn't really speak a word of English. But his daughter was there, and I was having a chat with him through his daughter and doing a bit of interpretation, which was good. And Mickey Ward, I was talking to him about his fights with
Arturo Gatti.
That they showed that on the clip. On the main
the
screen.
Trilogy, by the way, if anyone's not seen that, the best trilogy you'll ever see.
Another fight to go and have a look at if you've not seen it. Toro Gatti, Mickey Ward.
That's
to chat to him, and he's fully.
Was he a fascinating guy?
Yeah, fully switched on, and they made a film about him as well. Yeah, and it was just amazing. Riddick Bowe, not so much sort of. No, I don't want to say he's not with it.
He's had a little bit of wear and tear. Probably a better way of saying it.
He was struggling to have an in-depth conversation, but to have him around and to have a bit of input from him, it was just brilliant. I was sat with Rob McCracken, and Rob McCracken knows like all the older boys as well and all the old guys. And he was just, I could see Rob. I looked around because Rob don't show much emotion often. He ain't got loads to say.
Yeah,
he has got a lot to say, but not in front of the camera. And he's having deep conversations with these fighters. I'm looking around because I've never seen Rob smile that much. I just remember looking around and watching Rob McCracken with the biggest smile on his face. I've not seen him for years since we used to go out and have the crack. Years when I first met him when I was in my early 20s. And I just thought, I brought him to this induction to the Hall of Fame. I was going to come with my brother, I was going to come with my best mate, and I thought Rob won't come, he's too busy. And when I asked him, he goes, I think I can do that. I'm so glad I went with Rob. Yeah. And it's fitting as well because he's my coach. He's the reason I had my career, and he's the reason I'm in the Hall of Fame. But no, he was sat there smiling away. But the dinner table, to answer your question, was just boxing chat. Winky Wright was telling us all about his fights against everybody he's fought. Duran was translated by his daughter and was having chats about a couple of his fights. And they touched on the no mass one. And I said in my acceptance speech for the Hall of Fame, I definitely should have bought the ring. I said that
gutted you
I said that world champions don't quit, because one of the things I never did was quit.
Yeah.
Never quit in a fight. I think it's terrible. I frown upon quitting. I think Garcia quit when he got hit with that body shot, and I was vocal about it. He should have got up, because he got up straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as the ref finished counting, he was up. Oh, yeah, it's over now.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go home now.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis would have never quit, would he? Come on, he's from Baltimore. Half his mates are either in prison or dead.
Yeah,
and that's the difference in the mindset of quitting. But when I said world champions don't quit and quitters don't get inducted into the Hall of Fame, his daughter got me after and said about, do you think my dad's a quitter because of what happened with Ray Leonard? And I was like, no, yeah.
Really?
So I'm chatting to her and I'm like, no, listen, your dad was fuming.
He was far from a quitter. He was far from a quitter.
Dark eyes, he's a monster in the ring. He would last thing he would ever do. You've got to shoot him, dead.
Yeah.
You've got to take him out on a stretcher. That was just him saying, if you're not going to stand and fight,
exactly.
getting out of the ring, because this is he just, unfortunately for him, Sugar Ray Leonard was a bit too quick and a bit too nimble on his feet.
Yeah.
He won it in the first one. Duran done him in the first fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, his daughter asked me about that, and I was like, oh, so it was a good chat around the dinner table. But that's my reality.
Yeah, it's your reality dinner. Yeah. So I've gone Muhammad Ali, and then you switched it and went on to yourself.
So we know about Ali.
So I've done that. So we come back to me
really,
now.
Ali.
No, but I'm just saying, you asked me the question. I'm giving you what it is. Like Marvin Hagler, obviously, because he's my favourite fighter of all time. Fascinating guy. The whole story of how he was being frozen out. Didn't get a world title shot until his 50th fight or something, 50-something.
It's mad how he was
frozen out, man.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And how good he was.
Yeah, and how good he was.
Him and Hagler and Hearns and the Fantastic Four.
Come on. And then I think I'd have Mike Tyson there just because of the guy's crazy life, and I'd just love to get into the stories.
So finally, Spenny.
Yeah.
Madeclan asks, if we could have another super series tournament, what division would you choose?
Right
and
now,
why? Bar the heavyweight division.
Yeah, right now I would choose the welterweights. Just because we've got Errol Spence. I know we're getting Errol Spence now and Terence Crawford. I know we're getting that, but you've got Virgil Ortiz Jr. Who else have we got? You've got Usyk still around. Is he still around? And Jerome Ennis is another one. Unbeaten fighter. So for me, I think that
there's a couple of names in there that aren't massive standout names.
That's why you get Super Six. Because you people like Jerome Ennis, only your hardcore boxing fan will know. Obviously, 30-odd unbeaten, great fighter, and I think it's only a matter of time before he becomes a superstar. And the Super Six, that series, was designed to develop superstars, because you've got good fighters in there. But I think that, the welterweights for me right now is a weight where you've got good, you've got great champions in there, pound for pound stars, but you've got a good young stars coming through. And people like Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, they're getting on now. They're old. They've probably got a year to.
It's good that we're getting that fight now.
That your Jerome Ennis's, those sort of fighters coming through, you're going to get those, and you're going to go and Ortiz, you can go.
In fact, is that fight at the end of this month?
Yeah, it's the end of this month, yeah.
Spencer Crawford.
Yeah, 29th of this month.
29th of July, yeah. Really looking forward to that. It was great that one's coming.
Great fight.
That's fair.
So, but that's my Super Six. What's yours?
Mine's light heavyweight division.
Okay.
So, Bivol, Beterbiev.
Nice.
Yard.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Boatse.
Yeah,
Callum Smith.
Yeah, Dan Aziz.
No. Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo.
Yeah.
What I like Canelo's going to get eaten up at light heavy.
No, because
he's going to get eaten up at light heavy.
He's in there because he beat.
I don't think he steps up. Yeah, he stepped up against Bivol and look what happened.
Yeah, but he lost to Bivol and he thinks he can beat him in a rematch.
He can't.
I know he might not be able to, but if you're going to have a Super Six light heavyweights, I think you've got to have Canelo in there with Bivol. Yeah. And then you've got Boatse because we don't know how good he is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us think we do know how good he is, but actually we're still yet to find out, aren't we?
Callum Smith, it's an interesting one, yeah. So yours is similar as well, isn't it? Where you've got your superstars and you've got the younger fighters coming through or the prospects.
Coming through, but are they good enough to do what Alcaraz has just done with Djokovic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you're into tennis. But Alcaraz just beat Djokovic in the Wimbledon final. Right. And he's 20 years old, Djokovic.
He was unseeded.
And I just thought...
Unseeded.
No, he won. He was number one.
Yeah. Was it? No, and who was?
Alcaraz.
Was he number one?
Yeah.
So who was the unseeded one? Was that someone was unseeded? Must have been women's. Yeah, sorry, get mixed up. Yeah, women's.
That's what I mean about Spencer. Sometimes I've got to carry him, but I did bring tennis into a boxing match.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Because I'm
a boxing show.
Because I'm good at tennis and I'm gearing up for a game of paddle.
Yeah, no, but what you've done is you've thrown me off because I'm thinking about Super Sixes.
I'm gearing up for a game of paddle with your best mate.
I'm thinking about Wimbledon, you know what I mean? It's like, where's it going?
Are you into tennis? No.
No.
I've been to Royal Box about 4 times. So.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Me and tennis and more.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
So thanks for watching the Q&A. It's been insightful. I've enjoyed that, Spencer.
It's been fun.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It's all building. It all helps every time you hit subscribe. And people don't hit subscribe. People view these channels, they watch them, and they don't hit subscribe. Get signed in, hit subscribe. It helps everybody out. Everybody's winning then, and then you'll get more content. So yeah, thanks a lot, Spenny.
Yep.
Until the next time.